On October 18th, the Supreme Court of India made a significant statement urging Parliament to outlaw child betrothals. The court highlighted that any form of marriage or betrothal involving a child infringes upon their free choice and childhood. A bench led by former Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud pointed out that these practices rob children, especially young girls, of their right to choose a life partner, and this is a violation of their right to education, growth, and a fulfilling childhood. The court's comments highlighted a pressing concern about the legality of the child betrothals, which sometimes allow families to sidestep penalties under the Prohibition of Child Marriage Act (PCMA). To understand the current context, let's take a step back and explore the history of child marriage in India. The British colonial era saw the rise of reformers like Raja Ram Mohan Roy and Ishwar Chandra Vidyasagar, who recognized the harmful effects of child marriage. The British government, influenced by these social reformers, began to address the issue legally. The Age of Consent Act of 1899 raised the minimum age for marriage consent to 12, while the Child Marriage Restraint Act 1929, also known as the Sharda Act, set the marriage age at 14 for girls and 18 for boys, marking India's first serious legal intervention. Fast forward to today, child marriages in India have been steadily declining. According to an article published by NIH's cross-sectional study, data from 5 National Family Health Surveys from 1993, 1999, 2006, 2016 and 2021 suggests that the percentage of girl child marriages dropped from 49% in 1993 to 22% in 2021, while boy child marriages fell from 7% in 2006 to just 2% in 2021. These numbers reflect an overall decline, signaling a positive shift in attitudes and practices. However, despite these advancements, child marriage remains an issue in certain regions, particularly in rural parts of the country. Today, we have Dr. Vasudev Sharma with us. His organization, Child Rights Trust, works tirelessly to ensure that children's rights are protected, especially in areas where child marriage remains prevalent. Over the years, he has worked with various NGOs, government agencies, and international organizations. He has been a key figure in rescuing children from districts like Bidar, Chikballapur, and Belgaum in Karnataka. His work has earned him recognition, including the Karnataka State Child Welfare Award in 2004. Sir, can you tell us about what is the situation of child marriage in India and also in Karnataka?
See, a lot of people think that child marriages are stories of 1900, and many people think that we have completely eradicated child marriages, but it's not true. Child marriages are happening. It's happening well in rural areas as well as in urban areas. And then the other myth is people used to think that child marriages are among poor classes as well as among, let us say, scheduled caste, scheduled tribes. Well, we have incidents of child marriages even in the so-called upper caste families as well as in educated families. Child marriages are in great numbers in probably, if you look at the states, in North India and in Karnataka, yes, there are lots of child marriages. You may ask, how do you know? We are part of a larger project called IMAGE, Initiatives for Married Adolescent Girls Empowerment. The crux of the project is prevention of child marriages. We started visiting families, meeting girls who were victims, who would be the victims of child marriages, and did a lot of work in terms of educating the families and communities to prevent child marriages. To tell you, we failed. It's about 5 years ago what we started. We failed miserably to prevent child marriages. Well, we have a law. We have a law which is quite powerful, 2006 law, Prohibition of Child Marriage Act. And there is a provision for appointment of child marriage prohibition officers, CMPOs. The unfortunate aspect is that most of the CMPOs are not aware of their role, what to do. As a result, child marriages are happening. And now, if I say any statistics, it has no meaning. As per the NFHS data, it says that 23 to 28 marriages are child marriages. Okay, we say more than that because if you look at the number of school dropouts at the level of 8th, 9th, 10th, PUC also, right? That is one way. The second thing is number of pregnancies that are recorded. Girls who are below 18. For a long time, it was not noticed, but we have seen that quite a lot of girls who are below 18 are pregnant. Mostly in India, pregnancies are after marriage only. Mostly, 99% you can say that pregnancies are after marriage. So as a result, you can find out that it is child marriage, and child marriage are quite rampant even today. We welcome this observation by the Supreme Court. In fact, one of the biggest demands that through our campaign against child marriages, as well as this movement of image, was that the informed choice should be honored. Most of the marriages in India are taking place by the choice of the parents. Well, we say that the girl and the boy should agree for marriage. And secondly, they have to agree to marry that person. But at what age? And why do you get married with somebody, whether it's a boy or the girl? This direction or the observation given by the Supreme Court is in accordance with the Convention on the Rights of the Child, where it talks about right to life, right to protection, right to development, and right to participation. When we say participation, it's actually taking decisions. You are giving your opinion about a certain issue, certain question, or something that affects you. Marriage is certainly something affects you, whether positively or negatively, whatever it may be like. So when you are taking a decision, you have to be consulted. You have to be informed about the consequences. See, your question itself, it says that Supreme Court says a marriage is fixed during minority of age violates free choice. So what is this free choice? Free choice is not just do you want apples or bananas, you want chocolates or biscuits. It is here you're taking a decision about your life, about your future development. Secondly, when you are making a free choice or when you are making a decision, you should be aware of the consequences, right? That's why we say, why no child labor? Why you are not giving a driving license to children? In both the cases, it is basically consequences. You don't know how to take a decision when you're driving a vehicle. In fraction of a second, you have to take a decision whether to apply brake or to take a left turn or a right turn or what to do. The other thing is you will be held responsible for it. Why do you get a license? One is you have to take a responsibility. You have to take a responsibility for the consequences. Whether you drive safely or you meet with an accident, you hurt somebody, you get hurt, it is all your responsibility. Marriage is something is also like that. You have to take responsibility of the consequences. Here, you are actually pushing somebody to take that responsibility. You are not ready to take the responsibility. That's why here, Supreme Court very clearly has said that you are actually violating, taking away that participation rights, or in other ways, what you have said violates free choice of the children. So, given a chance and given this information that what is meant by marriage is very important. Now, I have discussed with a lot of child marriage victims. Most of them have said that we never knew that this is going to be the responsibility.
Hmm.
Don't take it in a very naive manner. Oh, didn't they? Don't say that. Yes, many of them don't know. That
Hmm.
is, many girls. It also true in the case of girls who run away with their boyfriends, or I may have to say man friends. When
Hmm.
they go away, they only had seen that somebody is going to get me some new dress, some food, and all that. In many cases in rural areas, girls have told us that when my marriage was getting arranged, I was getting excited. Excited for what? I was thinking that there will be food, there will be people, there will be dresses, and I will go to a new house and I'll live like a queen and all that. So there is also one more element here. Many girls might have not experienced the real love in the families.
Hmm. Hmm.
If the parents were always of the opinion that when do you leave our house, when do you go away from our house, if that is the treatment given to a girl in a family, she may think
Hmm.
that I will find love somewhere else.
Hmm.
It
Yeah.
may be true, like, but she may not be knowing what will be my role, what will be the responsibilities that I have to take up. What are the other consequences? Pregnancy, the biggest consequence. Okay. Then comes ill health, the second consequence. Third is, unfortunately, the girls are part of our movement, image initiatives for married adolescents empowerment. We have seen that a lot of girls have complained that their husbands are alcoholic
Hmm.
and their earnings are not enough. And there are also other aspects, death of the husband,
Hmm.
this woman getting alone, that too with a child or two children.
Hmm.
Sometimes the husbands have run away from the families.
Hmm.
Sometimes this is their second marriage, a third marriage. So these are all the consequences which the girls may not be aware of. So that's why you have to keep the information about marriage to the girls and boys both when they come to the high school level itself. So I appreciate the observation given by the Supreme Court when they have expressed that it violates a free choice. Again, I have to say that this is one of our demands from the beginning. In the last 5 6 years, we have been working on it. One biggest way of what we say, confusing the rescue party was telling that, oh, this is not a marriage, it's just an engagement.
Hmm.
Betrothal, the other simple meaning of that word is engagement. You are agreeing to get married. It's a family affair. One family from the groom side and a family from the bride side, they come together and say that we engage to this marriage. What was happening? We used to get a lot of complaints via Childline 1098 or by informers. You go to this spot and they used to hoodwink and say that no, 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 we are not getting married.
Hmm.
This is not at all a marriage. We are just, in local language, you have to say, "ವೀಳ್ಯದೆಲೆ ಬದಲಾಯಿಸ್ಕೊಳ್ತಾ ಇದ್ದೀವಿ." We are just exchanging agreement so that
Okay.
the marriage will be only after the girl turns 18. But
Hmm.
what was happening? Either they are going ahead and getting the marriage confirmed, done on another day, or in large number of cases, engagement becomes a kind of a license for the boy and the girl to meet.
Hmm.
And we have seen in many cases where the should I use the word abuse or should I use the word with consent? There will be sexual relationships happening. Okay. If this is not going to harm their relationship and the families, probably we may have to keep quiet. Who are you to question if they are having sexual relationship? But the problem is if the girl gets pregnant or if the girl gets STD in this period of before marriage, mostly the girl will be branded to say that, look here, the girl is not of good character. The boy gets, the girl will be caught. So in this engagement issue, we were requesting the government to include it into the PCMA to say that any engagement should be considered as violation of PCMA. There is intent behind it. The intention is to get this girl married off. So the intention itself is enough to criminalize this act of this is a welcome, and we have to include this engagement aspect into the PCMA. See, as I was mentioning here, you are going to create an expectation in the minds of the girl and the boy and the families that this girl is engaged. Engagement also is like marriage. The girl, yeah, it's a commitment. Yeah, thank you. My wife is standing next to me and she's giving me some prompts. Thank you. See, it's a commitment, as she said. Once there is commitment, you can see that the girl stops going to school or college. Okay. The girl will be seen as a person who is going to be a wife soon, right? I see your another question where you said, what are the reasons for child marriage? Now I'm entering to the other question. A lot of people think that child marriages are happening because poverty, or because some men think that you're not going to get girls, so you reserve. Marriage is a reservation, actually. It is not choice, it's a reservation. The other aspect is what we have seen. Most child marriages are because you want a free labor in your house. Got it? Free labor. Younger the girl, better the situation. Because if the girl is young and if she is not studied, not skilled, not having any other knowledge about law or anything, then she better be your servant at your house for long. You may question, it is, how can you say so? It is out of love. It's true, I agree, it's out of. But in most of the rural areas, you can see that a bride in a house, a married girl in a house, is like a housemaid. She has to get up early in the morning, clean the shed and the front yard and everything, wash utensils, cook, and then look after old people, look after children, look after the animals, everything, and also bring water, bring firewood. It's free labor. You need not have to pay her. And it's almost like she will not question. If that marriage is within the family circles, let's say what we say, uncle's daughter, aunt's daughter, something of that kind, the relationship bond, love, even that also becomes a reason for child marriages. Like you say, people marry within the families to hold your property. Well, all don't have properties, but this kind of relationship, this is one of the reasons. People see, when we talk about the social and economic impact, as I was telling earlier, it's a kind of a commitment. Then the girl will not get the choices to continue her education. The girl may not find opportunities to get trained. Think about vocational training. Think about professional training, whether it is an ITI, or something else of that kind. Now, she will not be having a free choice of her economic decisions. And if I quote something, I think it would be appropriate. I've heard girls telling that when their tiny tots, when they require milk or when they require even something to eat, she may not be having money in her hand. And she has to wait for her husband to come back. If he has to come back after earning, after being a daily wage earner, whatever it may be, he has to bring money and give her. Okay. So the economy of the family also goes down because she will not be in a position to use her free will about the money that she has in her hand or what she don't have also. The social and cultural impact is a lot of people think that engagement is better. Okay, you can wait, but this waiting period of the marriage will not be very long. Okay, many marriages, what we have seen is that people misinterpret the law. The misinterpretation is the law very clearly says that you have to be 18 plus to get married or 21 plus to get married. But many even what we say, well-meaning people also say that she has fallen into 18th year, rather maybe using a Kannada word like that. 18ನೇ ವರ್ಷಕ್ಕೆ ಬಿದ್ದಿದ್ದಾಳೆ. She has crossed 17 and she has entered 18 and she is eligible to get married. Not so, really not. She has to complete her 18th year. Okay. One may question, what magic is there after 18 years? Well, magic may be even after 20 years. Okay. Provided that if she gets an opportunity to complete her 10th standard and plus 2 if possible, or some other training, and she may get an opportunity to explore other areas. Okay. So this is what required for girls to complete her 18th year. At least some kind of education she will have. I would like to add here one more element. We are all talking about prevention of child marriages. Why prevention of child marriages? This has to go into the mindset of everyone. People think that, oh, it is violation of child rights. Okay, violation of child rights. What else? So it is gender abuse. Yes, it is gender abuse. But what else? The crux of the issue is we have to prevent or reduce maternal mortality.
Yes.
Okay? Maternal mortality is one of the biggest side effects of child marriages. We have to bring down maternal mortality to 70 for every 1 lakh live deliveries or live births. In our country, we are hovering around 100, 110. In some states, it's more than that. Karnataka claims that we have crossed that. Our maternal mortality rate is 69. Maybe we don't know. We can't question now because we don't have data. But our maternal mortality has to go down. We have to reduce it. Secondly, our under 5 mortality rate and infant mortality rate, as well as neonatal mortality rate, all these things have to come down. So what is the relationship between child marriage and this mortality? Most of the girls in their adolescent ages, particularly in rural areas, they are malnourished. They are anemic. In this age group, we are pushing them into marriage. Okay? When we are pushing them into marriage at this age, the first thing that happens in the families is expectation for a child.
Yeah.
So they want the bahu of the family or the daughter-in-law of the family to conceive as soon as possible and deliver a male child. So this kind of expectation and push on the daughter, on the girl, when she is malnourished, anemic, and she produces a child. Well, she produces what kind of a child? She is producing a child which is coming with the gift of illness from the birth itself. Most of the children are underweight. Okay, they are anemic, they are malnourished, and they have to get milk from this malnourished mother. What kind of healthy children we can expect, right? They may die. They may die in their first 6 weeks itself, or in the first month itself, or in the before completing the first year or before completing the fifth year. Like, so why again 18th year? At least by then, the girl will be having some kind of thinking. Yeah, I have to eat here. I have to be healthy. And she may become healthy and she can also decide. See, the relationship between malnutrition, the anemia, and the young mind who cannot take a decision and she has to produce. If she is 18, hope so, she can at least tell her husband, hurry, let us not have sex. Okay? Or let us have safe sex. Or let me not conceive now. Okay, I'm not that healthy. The requirement for marriage counseling is here. Okay, you're talking about better engagements. We're talking about child marriages. The Supreme Court should have said one more line that every marriage, every man and woman have to undergo counseling or have to undergo marriage counseling before they really enter into marriage. I mean, I would have been very happy if they had added that line. Like, we all think that marriages are there to produce children. Yes, you produce children, produce healthy children. Child marriages are resulting in the death of the children and the end of the girls' education and opportunities. One is, as I said, we have to include the issues related to marriage in the school syllabus. And we have to have widespread information dissemination among the elderly. And there are lots of stories we have heard where we have to see our 15-year-old girl married off because my grandmother who is sitting home was telling that I want to see my granddaughter's marriage and die. Let her die, yeah, no problem. Let her die, no problem. Okay, let us not push this girl also to death because she wants to see somebody's marriage. So we have to really catch all these oldies, whatever the age group. Consider anybody who is 40 plus, 45 plus, who are having children, grandchildren in families, that you have to sacrifice something, your happiness or your punya or whatever it may be. Please wait. Let us not push these small children into marriage. So bring in these elements, one at the curriculum, second with the community level. Third is every political party has to make a very clear statement that we as political party and political party members will not encourage child marriages. We know that there are lots of political party leaders, whether at Gram Panchayat level or at Taluk level, Jilla Panchayat level, even MLA level, they shield child marriages. When we go on raid, when we rescue the girls, somebody will say, sir, some minister is talking. Sir, some officer is telling, please leave them. So this is what the problem. And secondly, the CMPOs, child marriage prohibition officers. Karnataka boasts to have something like 58,000 child marriage prohibition officers. Where are they? Who are they? Now, we have been training them. Well, the Supreme Court has said that conduct trainings once in every 6 months. I welcome it. You have to get oriented. It is not just, again, orientation and trainings. What kind of preparedness, what kind of networks, what kind of hand-holding you have. Unfortunately, one department don't talk to another department. Education department don't talk to women and child, right? Labor department don't talk to welfare department. They have to act like a network coming together to prevent child marriages. And we are happy that Supreme Court has said that if there are child marriages happening in your area, the CMPOs will be held responsible. I'm very happy about it, really. And these CMPOs cry and say that, how do we know that child marriage is happening? If they conduct this marriage on a Sunday or if they conduct a marriage on a holiday, how do I go? It's your responsibility to do it. Police officers have to be made responsible for it. I mean, it's a cognizable offense, okay, wherein the punishment is quite high, and courts have to be oriented, and you have to treat child marriages strictly. And there are other aspects here. One is POCSO. Please educate every man about POCSO. And please educate every man and family that under the earlier IPC, the section 375, which said that having sex with wife who is above 16 years, not amounting to rape. I was one of the signatories to get this removed. In 2018, we had filed a case. Asthana and myself, we had signed it, and the Supreme Court had disqualified it. It had removed the provision of 375 proviso 2 exception. It had taken away. So now, very clearly, the new act, BNS, says that, that is Bharatiya Nyaya Samhita, it very clearly says that if you have sex with a woman, a minor, who is below 18 years, even in the relationship of marriage, it amounts to rape. So this has to be educated to everyone. And police have to take it seriously and file a case. By this, I'm not trying to say that fill all your prisons with men who are married. That's what happening. Your elopement cases. Okay. And if it is in the case of like a boy and a girl will be in love relationship, and the family feels, oh, there is something wrong, and they get the daughter married off before she completes her 18th year, and the boy, the lover, files a case, and the married man will go to jail because because of the POCSO. Yeah, you're right. Because of the POCSO. Second is Juvenile Justice Act. How many people know about Juvenile Justice Act, where it says that a person below 18 years have to be protected against all this? Under the definition in the Juvenile Justice Act, it says a girl who is in the threat of marriage, who is below 18 years, is a child in need of care and protection. This is not taken seriously. We have to see that child marriage is not accepted. Unfortunately, recently in one of the leading Kannada magazine, there was a story. Me and my wife, we got really annoyed by reading that story and the responses which has come to that story also. In that story, somebody writes that they find a girl who is a daughter of a construction worker, and she'll be having a good relationship with her, giving her some food, giving her some books and all that. One day, she disappears. And this woman asks, what happened? Where are they? And one of the connected person very coolly says that, oh, she's going to her native, she's getting married. And this woman says, oh, from one house, she's going to another house. What nonsense. And even in this period, people should not even write stories legitimizing child marriages. You should not produce films, TV serials, which legitimizes the child marriage and such aspects. Now, we should have very strict editing teams, very strict ban on such expressions also. So, we have to see that anybody who glorifies us, anybody who recognizes child marriage as something good, as a panacea for any social problem, or if somebody says that it is good that happening that she is getting married, please oppose it. And the teachers have to be sensitized. You can recognize something that is going to happen. Anganwadi workers should be protected if they report child marriages. I mean, you must have heard about this great POSH issue. POSH. It is because of Banwari Devi in Rajasthan, who tried to prevent a child marriage. Okay, she did it. Similarly, everyone should be protected if they report child marriages. If they don't report, you have to be you have to file a case against them for not reporting, as it happens in POSH, as it happens in POCSO also. Yeah, there are several cases. Okay, the common thread in every rescue is that If it is a case, a complaint filed by somebody else, we go there and we rescue the family. Mostly the girl and the family of the girl, they curse us. They say that something good happening, you have come here, and they try to convince us that marriage is most inevitable thing that is happening here. If she don't get married now, somebody is going to die, the girl is going to die, and all that. Well, we are all bad people. No, we don't care. If they say that they want to die, we'll say, okay, you can die later in a nice manner, not now, and all that. We used to say and bring. There are cases where people used to hurl stones at us. There are cases where some people try to attack and put us in a room. There are lots of such incidents that have happened in the past. But later, when this girl get to know that there is a law and there are other opportunities and there is life without marriage also, then they have told us that good that I'm rescued. Good that I can see the other side of the life. At the same time, we have heard from girls who are married and now realizing that something not good, who are part of our initiatives for married adults and girls empowerment group. They now say that enough, yeah, I had enough, and they go and tell other girls what I suffered. You should not become victim of that. That's what many girls say, and they go house to house. They go to schools. They are now, we call them as change agents.
Wow.
They these change agents, more than 16,000 of them. Now they are the spokespersons in their villages who talk about prevention of child marriages. They have prevented in their own families, their own sisters or their own husbands, sisters' marriages. They have prevented. Initially, they were all considered as bad people, and also we were all considered as something, an intervention was not wanted, unwanted people. But today, the same families say that it's good that it is happening. Prevention is better. Probably what you have not asked, I will try to mention in a few words and complete it. A lot of people think that why you talk about prevention of child marriages only for Hindu families? What about Muslims? This is a common question people ask. Well, although Supreme Court has not touched that issue, or it has said that no, we will not declare it, but there is a provision, there is a bill pending in the in the Parliament towards it, making the PCMA supreme. But there are judgments, even in Karnataka, also in other states, also where they have said, they pronounced that PCMA, that is Prohibition of Child Act, they have stopped there. They have said this is a universal act and you have to abide to it. Anybody, Hindu, Muslim, Christians. But still, there are other courts which have said that no, PCMA won't come in the way of our personal laws.
Personal laws, yes.
So there is some discrepancy or confusion here. We demand that the Parliament come out with one single statement, say whether they accept it or not. Here, I don't want to bring religion here, but I want to see the plight of the girls who are below 18 years. Okay, so the anecdotes from Muslim girls also we have experienced, where they have said that, say, I think in one of the last meetings, even my wife was there with me. ಜ್ಞಾಪಕ ಇದೆಯಾ ಬಳ್ಳಾರಿ ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟೆ ಹುಡುಗಿ, ವಾಟ್ಸ್ ಅಜ್ನಮ್, 4 ಮಕ್ಕಳನ್ನ ಕರ್ಕೊಂಡ್ ಬಂದಿದ್ಲಲ್ಲ. She's now 19 or 20. ಇಲ್ಲಿ ಹೋಗಿದ್ಲಲ್ಲ, ಬಾಗಲಕೋಟೆ ಹುಡುಗಿ ಬಂದಿದ್ಲಲ್ಲ. She is 19 or 20, maybe around 20 plus or so, and she had 4 children. And now she says that no girl should suffer like this. This is what, that's all. No girl should suffer like this. We have to educate even the religious leaders. You wanted to know how to prevent religious leaders, Hindu, Muslim, Christians, everyone have to be educated to say that for you it can be a religious act. For you may get some money out of it, but don't get into this, because PCMA directly says if you are involved in this child marriage, you can be imprisoned. We have also conducted one more program. I stop here. I know. One more program is the agents of marriage. You may be knowing they'll be carrying photographs, and in the case of Hindus, they carry jatka and all that. So we have done a program with them to say that, Bhaiya, be careful, never carry photographs of or alliances of girls below 18 years. You may be imprisoned. So we have to go on talking about it through various means and media. We have to find ways and means to reach out everyone to prevent child marriages, to prevent maternal mortality, to prevent infant mortality and underfed mortality. And of course, if you prevent a child marriage, and if the girl is above 18, and if she get educated, or if she gets some kind of skill, and if she can stand on her own, we are talking about gender equity too.